I'm Shelby. I work for College Recruiter. At College Recruiter, we believe that every student and recent graduate deserves a great career. I'm here today with Bethany Wallace, who has a communications and consulting business. And I have a couple questions to ask her. But before we begin, Bethany, would you like to introduce yourself and tell the College Recruiter audience what you do?
Sure. Thanks for having me today. I'm Bethany Wallace. I have a communications and consulting business. I've been running that business for about 6 years, and um, other than that, probably my two big areas of expertise are in content management, communications, and higher education. So I've taught and worked in career services as well.
So, I noticed on your blog you talk about a soft skill deficit. Can you explain to our audience what you mean by that?
Sure. So for most of Gen Z, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but most of Gen Z spends about 8 hours a day on electronic devices. Ones not just social media, but just googling things or watching tutorials or whatever it is, communicating, texting friends. So if you're spending that much time on a device, then you're not really able to practice a lot of soft skills. Most of those center around communication in some way. So the lack of face-to-face communication is really what I think is like the biggest cause of the soft skills deficit for Gen Z. But then also things like you can't collaborate as well face to face if you don't practice it. It's just a skill like any other skill. And the more it's like riding a bike, if you don't ride a bike for 10 years and then you get on one, you look kind of silly. So, just finding opportunities to work with Gen Z to help them practice those soft skills and even like gain awareness of what they are. And then also partnering with like higher education and getting teacher faculty members and career services staff to understand like this is a really big problem and they really need help with it, because if you don't get help with soft skills, then when you go into like job interviews and even just the average everyday workplace, it can feel really difficult to navigate things like how do you manage conflict, how do you respond when somebody does something that offends you, just basic life situations.
Thank you for speaking with me today, Bethany. If our audience wants to find you, where can they do that?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn always. And also, I have a blog and a website, which is BethanyWallaceCo.com. And I'd love to hear from people. If you want to like ask me questions about what was in the webinar, of course, you can comment on it through collegerecruiter.com. But you can also reach out to me personally if you have a question about something I said that really piqued your interest.